Hey everybody! In today's video, I'm going to show you a very spooky mixed media Halloween card. This may be my favorite Halloween card of 2021, and I have made a lot of them, but I love this one. I'm going to be working in a mini slimline format. I get all my cards pre-cut and scored, and you can see those in the list below because I would rather make cards than cut cardstock. And I am just using some Distress Oxide inks to do a little bit of spooky ink smushing with two different colors of orange. These look beautiful together. I love the new Crackling Campfire, or it's new to me anyway. It's such a beautiful color. So first I will put down the lighter orange, and then I will activate the Crackling Campfire and add that on top. My goal is not to completely eliminate the white space, but just to give kind of an atmospheric orange background. So I will dry this, and once it's dry, I will start stamping a little bit in the background. Now I went completely insane and hit the buy it all button on this Halloween collection. That is not my normal style, but this year, this Halloween collection just really spoke to me. I love the word stamps. I love the imagery. All of it is good. So I love that little poison skeleton. So cute. So I am just stamping these in the background. This is Root Beer Reactive ink. I'm not going to be using the reactive properties of it, but I do love this color. And it's not as harsh as black. I wanted the black of the skeleton, or the skull, sorry, to really stand out. And so I wanted these background images to be in the background a little bit, and so I stamped them in this dark brown. Now when I cut out the skull, you'll notice I cut out the little openings on the jaw, which makes it even scarier. My friend Jamie, when I was cutting this out, noticed that I had not cut those out, and she said, "You should cut those out." And she was right, because look, you can see things peeking through the holes in the skull. It doesn't get any spookier than that. So this fits perfectly on this mini slim format, but I am going to have it sort of hanging off one side of the card, and I will cut that off. So I've just added a little bit of glue to the back, and then I will cut that off before I put the card together. But now for the mixed media part. I am going to add a little bit of paper glaze with my very favorite stencil in the whole world for even more spookiness. So I have two different colors of paper glaze here, and I will just put a little bit here and there just so you sort of see the pattern in and around the words. It's not going to be like a cohesive overall pattern, but you will notice in the background. So I lied. This is paper glitz, not paper glaze, the second one that I'm stirring up. And this has both mica and glitter in it, so it is extra glittery. And I will be adding just little tiny amounts of this on top of the paper glaze, just to sort of darken it up and age it a little bit. But primarily I'll be using this gorgeous, gorgeous shade that is one shade darker than the Crackling Campfire, so it works perfectly. Now I'm taking care to avoid the images that I have in the background while still getting a little bit of that pattern. So I will use my little offset spatula, and offset spatula works particularly well here because there are places on the card that I am trying to avoid with the glaze. So this just helps me have a little bit more control. So I'll add a little bit up at the top. Again, avoiding the words. Don't worry if it's not completely covered up in any one spot. It's going to look beautiful in the end. This color is phenomenal and adds spookiness. It's hard to define spookiness, but I know it when I see it. And this is spooky. See my little Grim Reaper stamp? I just bought that too as an impulse buy. It's so cute. I will add it to the list because it's adorable. So now I am adding just a tiny bit of the paper glitz. So this is going to add shimmer, but like I said, it's also going to add sort of like a aged, maybe even soot sort of look to the top of the paper glaze. And these dry at about the same rate, so they're going to dry really quickly. And I love this little fan brush. It's like a little paw that you can apply your mediums with. Very cute. It's also great for splattering. I do love it for splattering. So you'll want to take the stencil off and rinse that off right away when you're done with this, because that will dry on your stencil. As you can see, there are other mediums that I don't clean off my stencils, but I do clean paper glaze off because it will dry on there, and then that will change the way your stencil works. So now I will whisk that away and clean it off. I like to just spray it with a little bit of water and then wipe it off with a paper towel if I don't feel like getting up and going to the sink. This will remove it. It'll be fine. With a stencil as delicate as this, you definitely don't want any extra product sitting on there. And then you'll want to cap the glazes immediately because it is a fast drying medium. If you have trouble getting the lids open, just soak them in hot water for a couple of minutes and they will open right up. So look at that. So it's shimmery, got a little bit of texture in the background, the tiny bit of glitter and glitz on top of the paper glaze just makes it the bomb. So now, for the fun part, I've cleaned off my little fan brush, and I am going to do some splattering because splattering makes everything better. Now this is my favorite gold metallic ink. I like to water it down a little bit. You can really get a lot out of it. This way you don't need very much if you just add a little bit of water. So you just hold the brush farther back and tap it, and you'll get all kinds of great little gold splatters all over. If you're really close to the card, the splatters will be bigger. If you're farther away, they'll be smaller. So the length of the handle of this brush does make a big difference in the way that your splatters look. So let me show you what that looks like. This is so much fun. Look at those gorgeous little gold dots. Oh, so perfect. Perfect finishing touch for this spooky, spooky Halloween card. Head over to my blog for more information, and thanks so much for watching.